back. It's still Business Morning here on Channels Television. Last week, I was in Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire, and the story was all about the African Development Bank Group. And the new president was elected. Series of meetings held. The theme was making Africa's capital work better for Africa's development. Well, I put this package together, capturing some of the high points and important discussions that was held in Abidjan last week. And I decided to share it with you today. The venue of the 2025 African Development Bank Group meetings in Abidjan has all the colors and insignia. Over 5,000 delegates are attending to discuss the theme, making Africa's capital work better for Africa's development. And at the peak of the meeting is the election of a new president for the group.
I see the impact of our work in supporting Africa to avoid a looming food crisis predicted.
The outgoing president, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, begins the series with President's Media Welcome Breakfast. Here, he shares the achievement of the group during his 10 years as the leader, top of which is the capital increase from $93 billion to $350 billion between 2015 and 2025. Beyond the numbers, Dr. Adesina believes this has been impactful.
The COVID-19 to geopolitical tensions emanating from the Russian war in Ukraine, which in turn triggered a global food crisis. At the same time, a global debt crisis and devastating climate change pose untold hardships and challenges. In the midst of this polycrisis, your bank, the African Development Bank Group, strongly supported by its shareholders, stood strong and innovatively supported Africa as it navigated each crisis. Africa survived.
This opens up conversations at the various meetings on different but related themes, which include high-level presidential dialogue, making Africa's capital work better for Africa's development. There's also the launch of the 2025 African Economic Outlook Report.
We are paying more to access finance. We don't have enough in terms of fiscal capital, but if you look at fiscal financial flows out of the continent every year, we're losing more than 3 times the resources that Africa gets in terms of financial outflows. Here, just because of poor risk ratings that I've talked about, we lose about $74 billion US. Illicit financial flows, the continent loses about $90 billion US. Corruption costs the continent $148 billion US. And international profit shifting, base erosion and profit shifting is costing Africa about $275 billion US. When you sum only that up, we have $587 billion US leaving the shores of this continent every year.
APRM on credit rating agencies. An Africa Credit Rating Agency, key to Africa's financial independence. African Union Commission, innovating financing for inclusive growth and sustainable development, and the strategic role of African Capital Market and the Africa Credit Rating Agency.
It is less about trying to challenge the credit rating agencies through arbitrary criticisms, but more about trying to build the capacity and capabilities of countries and government to be able to negotiate and have a frank conversation with credit rating agencies. I think this is the approach that we think is excellent. We think that it is going to, over time, it's not going to be immediate, it's going to be incremental. Over time, it is going to alter the methodology. And as we think about the establishment of the African Credit Rating Agency, I think UNDP would like to work very closely with the African Union to ensure that we are not just, it's not about radically transforming the methodology, but it's also about building the capacities of our countries.
Leveraging Africa's capital for development amidst increased economic challenges is also another session.
But something in the magnitude of $28 billion is expected to flow to Nigeria this year from the diaspora. That is very significant. That dwarfs all receipts in bad years when it comes to oil. Now we need to tap into that as we think about even the capital markets. And there is an initiative the central bank, which we're helping them work upon, has, but this should be something across the continent, and they'll be more disposed to longer-term investments within the country just because they're from the continent.
but all the plans is hinged on energy, fossil fuel or renewables.
In many areas is leapfrogging what is happening in other regions, particularly when it comes to energy transition. Energy transition hasn't been mentioned so far, and Africa is absolutely end-to-end at the core of that mega trend that is going and is reshaping entire economies, like in the Middle East and sectors. Why end-to-end? We talked about minerals previously. There's also renewable energies, the electrification of the economy, and ultimately being able to provide cheaper, more affordable services.
And all through these meetings, the steering committee of the Board of Governors for the election of the president of the African Development Group were holding closed-door sessions. The result, the group's 9th president-elect, Sidi Ould of Mauritania, is elected by the bank's Board of Governors, comprising finance and economy ministers or central bank governors of the bank group's 81 regional and non-regional member countries. The board is the highest decision-making authority for the bank group. Mr. Tar brings over 35 years of experience in African and international finance. He served as president of the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa for 10 years from 2015.
Now let us go to work. I am ready.
But before he takes over in September, Dr. Adesina continues his message of One Africa, a message which those who have worked closely with him believe he has anchored well.
Akin brought uncommon passion to his work and made a difference to the lives of farmers in the country. When His Excellency President Goodluck Jonathan nominated him as candidate for the presidency of the African Development Bank, it was with determination that I took on the role of his campaign manager in my capacity as Nigeria's finance minister and Nigeria's governor for the African Development Bank. We campaigned hard, and his performance in the interview was tops, and he got elected. I'm pleased to say that as president, he has not disappointed. He's leaving a strong legacy behind, of which he, Nigerians and all Africans, should be proud.
You have brought vision, energy, and relentless determination to the job, and it's been an absolute privilege to learn from and work alongside you. I think our personal relationship, which started when I came to visit you when I was just a candidate for the job, helped to lay the groundwork for a renewed and stronger partnership between our two institutions. But friendship alone is not a strategy, and we both knew that. What I think we've really built over the past year is a new way of working. We're focused on impact. We're grounded in mutual respect. But most importantly, we're committed to the future of Africa and its young people and their desire for a better life. M300 is a clear example. It's a shared ambition to bring energy to 300 million people in Africa, a demonstration of what's possible when the MDBs work like a system. We each play to our strengths, but we're very aligned on the outcome. I think we've made real progress in a short time. But the eyes of the world are upon us. Some are skeptical, some are inspired. And to meet that moment, we need to keep that momentum going. And that means more countries finalizing their compacts, and for those that have, move quickly from words to action.
He promises to keep the light of Africa burning even when he ceases to be president of AfDB.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we look now to the future, let us continue to support Africa. Let us make sure that our anchor holds even on tempestuous seas. Let us continue to sow the seeds for a better day, today and tomorrow for Africa. For I can assure you that your labors will not be in vain. Do not stop giving. Together, let us make the world a better place. Together, let's advance Africa's transformation. As shareholders, we have been together for 60 years. I urge you to stay together and support together. Differences may exist, priorities may change, but around Africa, let us unite.
Dr. Adesina's presidency will also be remembered for his love for singing.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in our way. Gone and the black cloud that holds us blind. Yes, it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Thank you, and God bless you all. Bye.
Yes, I guess I should also clap for Dr. Akim Adesina. Served for 10 years and finds a way to bring the fun out of it while doing his work, has been attested to there by very important personalities in the world. Congratulations to him for serving 10 years, serving Africa. And we look forward to what he's going to do next. I wonder if he's going to be singing. We'll see.